my home slices. um, I wasn't planning on doing this stream. I was like, I'll do it another time. Um, but I know that tomorrow there's a possibility I might not have a lot of time to do the stream. So I just decided to just do it today. Um, but I was starting to enjoy doing them Saturdays. Maybe from now on I'll start doing them Saturdays unless I have a good reason not to. Um, Another thing, I feel like I've been really hard on women's MMA. Obviously, because of feminism, they've said that women are equal to men. So I'll dish out the criticism equally. As harsh as I am to dudes, I'll do it on the women's side. But I think as a combat sports fan, I want the division to succeed. So maybe I'll be a bit more optimistic with my views as opposed to pessimistic, right? Anyway, I'm going to do the full card upsets predictions for for this particular card. Also, I apologize for how the stream ended the last time. Upsets, yeah, upsets, my dude. Walter D, welcome, man. How you doing? I'm good. I'm good. I'm good, man. Welcome to the stream, man. You're becoming a regular. I like that. I never see you in the comment section of the short or video section. It seems you only like the live streams, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I got on Miley double chance KO decision. Highly possible. Highly possible. I'm. The more this card approaches, I'm getting a little bit more excited, man. I watched the shorts. Oh, okay. That's good to hear. I never see your comments, or maybe I missed them somehow, or I just respond because there's so many comments. I just respond and move on. The song is fire on the shorts. I appreciate that, man. Pedro Valentin, you're the goat. I appreciate that. I still feel like there's a lot more for me to do in order to be considered the goat as far as predictions go. Maybe I'm on a 5 week win streak, right? I can manage to keep that win streak going up until the end of the year. Maybe I can start calling myself the goat. At this point, I feel like there's a little bit more work to do. Um, I've had a good 5 weeks. I don't think that's enough for me to be able to to be boastful or anything like that. Um, Let me reply to you guys and get started with the stream. As always, I'm going to respond to all comments once I'm done with my upsets predictions. But before I start, let me respond to your comments. Um, the song on the shorts is fire. Oh, I appreciate that. I've won a lot with your second opinion. Pedro Valentin, it's nice to hear that, man. I think a lot of you should do that, because I've gotten comments like that of dude, like I've won so much money because of you, and some have even donated, money to me like crazy amounts. Okay, not crazy amounts, but yeah, it's always nice to hear that what I'm doing is actually working. Obviously, seeing the quality of the results that I get, like only getting two fights wrong and stuff like that, it's always nice. But what I do it for you guys, and that's why I introduced more statistics on the channel, just to make it easier for you guys to actually predict fights. So it's always nice to hear people saying, I've made this much, I've made this much, and all these type of things. I like that. Um, I don't be commenting on shots. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I'm new. I've been rocking with you for 4 months. Oh, okay. I've never seen you in the comment section as well. But clearly you've been watching from the shadows and just verifying if I'm legit or if I just had like a good month, which is good, man. I hold myself to standard, and if you've been following me, obviously you've been following me for 4 months, but those that have been following me since last year, they know that I was hard on myself when my predictions were not that great. Um, to anyone who's going to be watching this stream after after I'm done, I'm sorry. Let me just finish responding to the comments. If there's too many, what I'll do is I'll just start with the upsets predictions and then I'll get back to responding. I know that it's taking a little bit too much time, and also it's hard for me to add, what do you call it, timestamps, because like I always say in the comment section, if you look at my channel, the community section, even as we speak right now, there are fights for the upcoming card that are being posted in the community section. There are fights that were posted in the video section. There are fights being posted in the short section. I do everything alone on the channel, so it's really difficult, and I respond to every single comment. It's a lot of work, so it's really difficult to find a bit of time to actually add the timestamps. But as time progresses, and I'm also trying to shoot a movie, a short film actually, so it's taking up a lot of my time. But I will try to add timestamps. Um, and and what a ride! I appreciate that. Any safe bets? I don't like making parlays, but honestly, this card and the next card are probably the riskiest fight cards, in my opinion. I've started analyzing. Wow, what a word! Um, I've started analyzing the fight night card for France. Moicano versus Benoit Saint Denis, and so far I haven't pinpointed any safe fight on that card. I'm left with like 7 fights, right, to predict. So maybe I might find a safe fight there. But so far, this card and the next upcoming card are probably some of the riskiest cards. There's so many fights that could go either way. Yeah, I'm really worried for myself, but I'm always worried every single week. Despite how I do the previous week, I'm always worried about my predictions because my success is very important to me. Like me having quality predictions is really important to me, and that's why I continue to try and improve. I think possible upsets are Dumont, Ribovics, Ortega, Chairez, and Ode Osborne. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's hard to argue with that, man. Um, I think from now on, I'm going to call you the incoherent alphabet guy, because you refuse to change your name, and like I have to find a way to refer to you. So from today onward, you are called the incoherent alphabet guy. One of my best subscribers. Um, Bombo Clad, who you got, OG Zalhuba, Esteban, Isaac, Zalhuba picks him apart. Okay, you know what? I'm seeing a lot of comments coming in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my upsets predictions, just so that I can answer all your questions. And then once I'm done, I'm going to respond to every single comment, unless it becomes late. The last time my battery was low, so the phone just switched off. I apologize about that. I tried to charge today, so I don't think that problem will happen. But rather, that issue will be a problem. Anyway, let's start. Raul Rosas Jr. versus Aori Quileng. My subscribers and I went with Raul Rosas Jr. Rosas Jr. is a heavy favorite, actually the biggest favorite on the card at minus 700. And Quileng is the underdog at plus 475. My subscriber said that this fight is 85% safe. Did I write this properly? Wow, 85 is a lot. I said it's 100% risky. Maybe I was being too harsh, or rather maybe I shouldn't have said 100%, maybe 80%, or maybe 70%, but I still feel like Raul Rosas Jr. shouldn't be this much of a favorite. I guess maybe I'm wrong, and that will be determined on fight night, right? Obviously, my subscribers and I picked Raul Rosas Jr., but I honestly don't think he should be this much of a favorite. I still don't think Aori Quilang is good enough to beat him, but he's good enough to actually pose some type of a threat if Raul Rosas Jr. does not come in there and look perfect. I obviously expect Raul Rosas Jr. to win this fight. You know what? Let me not even say that. I see a lot of people are confident, especially based on the the bets. He's a favorite for a reason, I guess. But I don't feel the same way. Do I think an upset is possible here? I mean, it's Raul Rosas, man. It's hard for me to say an upset is possible. But based on what I'm looking at here, it's gonna be a tricky fight. I could be wrong, right? Um, Ultimately, every single week I get like two fights wrong, so probably this is one of them. Um, but this is going to be a tricky fight. I expect Raul Rosas Jr. to win, but I don't think he should be a minus 700 favorite. So an upset is possible here. I just don't know if the probability is high. I'd say medium, not high, not low, but medium. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, here we go. Edgar Chairez versus Joshua Van. My subscribers and I went with Joshua Van. Edgar Chairez is a plus 165 underdog, and Joshua Van is the favorite at minus 205. I think I think Joshua Van is the third biggest favorite on the card, which is crazy. At minus 205, you'd expect. And I love the fact that the odds reflect my concern, right? Because when I was doing my predictions earlier on, and even in the comment section since last week, I've been saying that this is probably one of the most riskiest cards of the year. And a part of me felt like I was being crazy, but it's a little bit reassuring to see the odds reflect my opinion, because the fights here are so flipping close in terms of odds. So clearly, what I was saying was actually very accurate. So yeah, it's incredible that Joshua Van is like the third biggest favorite on the card. And he is a minus 205 favorite. It's insane. That just goes to show how close, how risky this fight is, or rather, how risky this card is. But I agree with this particular favorite, but I'm not very confident. Whenever someone has such a massive reach, it influences a fight significantly. Even though I don't think Edgar Chairez is an exceptionally talented fighter, I think he will look a little bit more determined, a little bit more prepared, because it's the sphere. It's like they are doing this for Mexicans, so probably he's going to have a little bit more motivation than most. Is an upset possible here? Yeah, I hate to say this, but I think so, and that's why my subscribers and I said this fight is 100% risky. And my subscribers and I have never. I think this is probably history whereby of the channel where my subscribers and I agree that this is 100% risky, right? Because it could go either way. But I'm sticking with my pick of Joshua Van. But is an upset possible here? Yeah, it is. I fully believe it is. On to the next one. Yasmin Jarigui. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name properly. Versus Kathleen Souza. Yasmin is the second biggest favorite on the card at the minus 550. Kathleen Souza is the underdog at plus 400. My subscribers say that this fight is 62% safe. I said it's 100% risky, and I'm sticking by that. This fight, for me, feels like the Raul Rosas Jr. fight, in that I feel like people are underestimating Kathleen Souza. I know she's not that great, but it's not like Yasmin is. leaps and bounds like the most incredibly talented athlete in this division, right? She's very talented, but I wouldn't say she's been separating herself from her opponents, right? My subscribers and I officially picked Yasmin, and obviously I'm going to stick with that. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this is a lock. It's not. It's honestly not. I don't understand why people are so confident. Because this fight for me is a coin flip. But once again, I get some fights wrong. Even if it's two or three, this might be one of them. I don't know. But my official pick and my subscribers' official pick is Yasmin. I'm just telling you my confidence in that particular pick. Clearly, my subscribers feel a bit more confident than I do because they say it's 62% safe. So maybe, but based on what I'm looking at, it's going to be closer than people think. I don't agree with minus 550. So, yeah, I think an upset is possible here. I could be wrong, but an upset is possible here. This fight to me looks like Edgar Chairez versus Joshua Van. So yeah, on to the next one: Manuel Torres versus Ignacio Bahamondes. I'm surprised that actually Bahamondes is the favorite. Anyway, um, my subscribers and I went with Manuel Torres. Manuel Torres is the underdog at plus 100, and Ignacio Bahamondes is the favorite at minus 120. My subscribers feel like this fight is 65% risky. I said it's 70% safe. Do I still feel that way? I'm worried a bit because I didn't know that Ignacio was busy training with Habib and Bilal, specifically Habib. If he was just training with Bilal, I'd be fine. Like I'd be like, okay, that's decent training, but it's fine. There's this thing about Habib. Whenever you train with him, man, you become a different level of a fighter. I don't know what he does, but whenever anyone says I've been training with Habib, they come into the octagon and look like a better fighter. You know, I mean, Bilal just won the World Heavyweight Championship at like 36, 37. So clearly, the dude is doing something. Like they have a lot of champion. The Bellator champion. They have the lightweight champion in the UFC, and I'm sure soon the bantamweight champion. So the dude is doing really. I don't know what he's doing, but man, Habib is a really talented coach. Not just athlete. He was a talented athlete, and now clearly he's a talented coach because everything he touches, man, it turns to gold. So that worries me because Torres is one of my favorites, right? Like he's one of the few fights that I feel pretty confident about. I feel like Torres is going to be able to win this particular fight pretty handily. But some of my, smart subscribers, have been disagreeing with me and say, dude, I don't feel like his cardio is going to hold up long term. He might get the finish in the first round or two. If that doesn't happen, Ignacio is going to win. And yeah, it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one, but I'm still confident Manuel Torres is going to win, but maybe not 70% confident. I'd say I'm willing to drop it to like 60 or 55% safe, right? Because initially I said it's 70% safe, but taking into consideration the fact that he was training with Habib is making me a little bit worried. I still feel like Manuel Torres is going to win, but there are some elements that I didn't consider that could affect this fight. But I'm sticking with my pick. And I'm sticking with the fact that I think it's safe. Not as safe as I thought it was, but I still think it's nonetheless safe. I think Torres is going to definitely win this fight. I think the people who are going to beat a Mexican on this card, have to have a massive advantage, and I don't feel like Ignacio has that advantage, right? Whether it's because of a knockout or because of an undeserved 10-8, I feel like Torres is going to win this fight, right? The only way you win this fight is if you dominate that person that to the point whereby there's no solid or proper argument to say this person actually won this fight. But yeah, I'm still confident that this is one of my more confident picks. I feel like Manuel Torres is going to win this one, um, but I'm nervous. Anyway, on to the next one. Irene Aldana. Those who just came onto the stream, I remember in the previous stream, people, I saw comments that were saying, please respond to my comment. I'm going to respond to everyone's comments once I'm done going through this. I'm just doing it for people who are going to watch this after I'm done, so that if they don't want to listen to my commentary replying to all of you, then they can just watch the predictions and just leave the video. But I'm going to respond to everyone. I always do. But the comments are increasing, and I love it. But it's preventing me from replying to everyone. Something always comes up. Hopefully today that doesn't happen. Anyway, Irene Aldana versus Norma Dumont. Irene Aldana. My subscribers and I went with Irene Aldana. Um, Irene Aldana is the favorite. And actually, I didn't actually give my opinion, but I think I did. I think an upset is possible here, obviously because I picked my subscribers and I picked Manuel Torres. So definitely, I think an upset is possible here, highly possible, very possible. so, so yeah, I'm confident with that. Manuel Torres is going to win this one. Irene Aldana versus Norma Dumont. My subscribers and I went with Irene Aldana. Um, Aldana is the favorite at -130. Dumont is the underdog at the +110. My subscribers and I, or rather, my subscribers said this fight is 78% risky. I said it's 51% risky. In all honesty, I wanted to call this fight safe, but because it's WMMA, it's very unpredictable. So it's hard for me to actually say, especially because Irene is like 30, 36, 37 right now. And in MMA years, you are no longer able to compete at the highest level, right? But this is not a championship fight, right? Because I think the age thing usually works, obviously in the top five, and I know it's like a top five fight in a sense, but still, I think it's more impactful in championship fights, not necessarily in contender fights. Um, but still, you know, the age thing, I don't like picking older fighters, but I still picked Irene Aldana. I think if she was like 34, 33, I think I would have said 51% safe, but because she's, you know, um, and she's a very durable fighter. She's very hard to finish. She just gave us a shitty performance against Amanda Nunes. I feel like if she tried, she probably would have won that fight. So the question is she going to try in this fight? Because I think she would have beaten Amanda Nunes if she actually tried and threw a little bit more. Because she was just standing there being starstruck by Amanda Nunes. Anyway, another thing, Norma Dumont could win this fight. This card must just pass. Even the France card, they just like they're giving me sleepless nights because in my head I'm like, am I going to get a fight wrong? Am I going to get 100%? How many fights am I going to get wrong? Like you guys don't know how stressful this is. This is not just me trying to have a channel. This is not just a content for me. I'm actually trying to actually be the best, right? So so it stresses me out every time leading up to a card, especially because in the past, um, especially before UFC 300, my predictions were not that great. So after UFC 300, that's when I started to do really well. So it's not just me creating content here. Like I actually want to be the best in the world at this. I've seen people calling me the GOAT. I don't think I am, not yet. But yeah, this card stresses me. Anyway, I think Norma Dumont has a shot at winning this fight, a decent shot, and I think the odds reflect that. Minus 130 and plus 110 show how close this fight is. Um, so is an upset possible here? Definitely, definitely. On to the next one, Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Ode Osborne. My subscribers and I went with Ronaldo Rodriguez. Rodriguez is the favorite at minus 130, the exact same odds as Irene Aldana versus Norma Dumont, which is surprising because a lot of people have been saying Ronaldo is going to win. Um, anyway, um, Ronaldo is a minus 130 favorite, and Ode Osborne is a plus 110 underdog. My subscriber said this fight is 78% risky. I said it's 65% risky. Do I think an upset is possible here? Yes, it is. It is. I've seen a lot of people writing off Ode Osborne and calling him a can. MMA fans, dude. I wonder if people who watch soccer do this to their athletes. Like MMA fans will just destroy your confidence. Like if I was an athlete, if I was a fighter, right, I wouldn't read comments. I think you're just looking for reasons to be upset and to be hurt. Right? If I was an athlete, I'd never read comments. The things that we see on the internet like are brutal. Like you guys are savages. Anyway, so people have been calling Ode Osborne a can. I don't agree with that. I think he has a massive shot at actually winning this fight. But the thing is, do I see him finishing the fight? I mean, he has a little bit of power. Okay, my thing is, this is not going to be any regular card, right? And that's why the picks that are going against Mexicans worry me because my picks specifically that go against Mexicans, they worry me because this is their card. So everyone is going to make sure they show up and they try to win, right? So going against any Mexican on this card is a very, very, very risky pick. Um, and that's one of my concerns, right? Um, but for me, this fight is 50-50. I feel like Ode Osborne has a shot at winning. Um, I wouldn't say Rodriguez is the better fighter or striker. Let me see, actually. Let me actually try. But I broke this down on my final predictions and breakdowns. But let me just go through it a little bit more. On the feet, I think Ronaldo will have the advantage. On the ground, I think it's going to be more or less evenly matched in a sense. Actually, on the feet, it's going to be evenly matched. On the ground, it's going to be evenly matched. I feel like um, Ronaldo is a bit better defensively. Um, and then on the ground, let me see. Ode Osborne has the power advantage on the feet, so that could influence a lot of things. And he has the reach advantage as well. That could also influence a lot of things. Um, yeah, an upset is possible, man. Like, I would say I'm crazy, but the odds reflect what I'm saying. Minus 130 is not that big of a favorite. Um, so yeah, not very confident. But my official pick and my subscribers' official pick is Ronaldo Rodriguez. An upset is definitely possible here. On to the next one. Daniel Zalhuba versus Esteban Ribovics. My subscribers went with Zelhuba. I went with Esteban Rivobix. Zelhuba is the favorite at minus 230. Ribovix is the underdog at plus 190. My subscribers felt like this fight is 53% risky. I said it's 80% risky. I don't know why, but I trust my analysis. But man, Esteban Ribovix is one of my other confident picks. I'm having a feeling that I had last week. Like a lot of people were picking Ruse. I forgot the is he Chinese? The guy who was fighting Padilla, right? And to be fair, it was a very close fight. I was worried, but one of my subscribers actually came into the comment section and I was like, "You went 10-2," and instantly my nerves went down. I hadn't watched the card yet at that point, so I was watching the card with a little bit more ease, which felt weird because normally I'm on the verge of collapsing every time every time I watch a UFC card because I'm concerned of how many did I get wrong, right? So, but nonetheless, that fight was close, right? Until obviously the elbow. So it makes me worry a little bit because I'm very confident that Esteban Ribovics is going to win this fight. I know Zelhuba has the reach advantage, but that's just about the only advantage that he has, in my opinion. I think Ribovics is going to outclass him on the feet and even on the ground. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, I still feel like I'm confident. I said this fight is risky for a reason, and I don't think I'm going to change that. But as far as confidence level, based on the research that I do normally before I do my live videos, it tells me that Ribovic is definitely going to win this fight. My confidence level is as high as, let me see, Manuel Torres. The same level of confidence I have in Manuel Torres winning this fight is the same level of confidence I have in Esteban Ribovic. I guess we'll just have to wait and see if I'm wrong. So is an upset possible here? As confident as I am, I think it is. Um, so yeah, I think it was obvious in the Ronaldo fight that an upset is possible if I didn't actually say it. Anyway, on to the next one. Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. My subscribers went with Diego Lopez. I went with Brian Ortega. Brian Ortega is the underdog at plus 155, and Diego Lopez is the favorite at plus 180. My subscriber said this fight is 75% risky. I said it's 100% risky. Number one, I'm surprised that Diego Lopez is such an underwhelming favorite. 180 is not a lot. I expected more, actually. Because of how people were talking about him, I actually expected him to be the biggest favorite on the card because people were saying Ortega is washed up and all these type of things. So clearly, some of the things that they're saying on the internet are not being reflected by how they spend their money. They're just saying it to throw off some other people. I don't know why, but I was expecting him to be a bit of a bigger favorite than he is right now. But it is what it is. Let me see. I picked Brian Ortega. I think I went into deep. I did a deep dive in that fight on my final predictions. I don't know if I'll be able to do that because I don't prepare these things, right? What I normally do is I write what I researched. Not it's numbers. It's not words. Like it's usually numbers or alphabets and everything like that. So I don't write the sentences on my research. The paper that I'm looking at, it's not. Let me show you how it looks, right? This is okay. Let me do this. This is my research, guys. This is what I'm looking at right now. So that's what I'm looking at. I don't write sentences and things like that on my research. Right. So what I said on my final predictions, it was just me going off of the top of my head, and trying to actually question myself as to why I picked him. And I think I made a solid point. But actually, let me just try and give you, those who didn't see it, a bit of a summary. One of my subscribers, I love my subscribers, man. They feed me with so much information. So apparently, Brian Ortega has never lost to anyone outside of a championship match, right? Um, except obviously the loss to, what do you call him? Yair Rodriguez, right? He's never really lost outside of a championship match, and he's never lost to a non-champion, in my opinion, or rather, based on what my subscribers were saying. And I remember when Ortega was fighting Max Holloway, wasn't he undefeated? I think he was undefeated. I think so. I'm not sure. I think so. Which would make a lot of sense, because so far the losses that I remember, it's Max Holloway, it's Volkanovski, and Yair Rodriguez, and that was an injury. It wasn't him. It wasn't Yair outclassing Brian Ortega, right? And he showed it because he beat him in the preceding fight. Even though, even though he was losing on the feet, but he still won. And um, another thing is, Diego Lopez is not a great striker, right? That's something I know. There are a lot of fans of Diego Lopez, and they're going to probably call. But on the stream, no one calls me horrible things. Sven used to be the only one who was calling me terrible things on the stream, but he has since changed his ways, and he's a changed man now. He says positive things. so, so I think I've won him over with good results. But he used to be the only one who says negative things. But back to what I was saying. Um, I don't think Diego Lopez is a great striker. I think he has a lot of speed. I think he has a lot of power, and that's how he wins a lot of his fights. But if you once you get into the top five, it's a little bit different, man. I think Umar is the perfect example, and even Hamza Chimaev is the perfect example. These guys were dominating. Hamza Chimaev went untouched in the UFC until he fought a top five contender in Gilbert Burns. Actually, Gilbert Burns was ranked number two at the time, right? Umar Nomagomedov was busy running through everyone, and then he fought Corey Sanhagen, which was a dominant performance, but it was a competitive fight, right? So the skill level outside the top five is different than within the top five. And Benoit St. Denis also saw that, right? Ikram Aliskerov also saw that. We saw what Robert Whittaker did to him, right? The skill level outside, especially because Diego Lopez, okay, he fought Dan Ige, but it was on a couple of hours' notice. Then Ige didn't have enough time to prepare for him. Even though I made the point to say Diego Lopez was also coming in on short notice, he had multiple weight cuts. That's something that could explain his performance. But even before then, I still don't feel like his last few performances say he's a good striker, right? I'm going to get to the grappling. Right now, I just want to speak about the striking. Even before that, like, there were moments whereby, for example, against Yusuf, something Yusuf at UFC 300, I almost picked Yusuf, but I remember that Diego Lopez has power and speed, right? And I swinged towards Diego Lopez. And I think that's how he wins fights, right? But Dricus Duplessis has shown us that you don't have to be the most technical fighter in order to become a champion. But in all honesty, I don't see Diego Lopez beating Max Holloway or Ilya Tuporia. Um, I don't think. I think Diego Lopez still needs time to improve, right? I think Movzaev Loev beats him again. Um, he lost to Joanderson Britu. Obviously, Diego Lopez was fast tracked because he's popular, but people forget that he lost to Joanderson Britu, who's fighting next week on the Contender Series. Like he was dominant. Let me not say dominated, but Joanderson Britu actually won that fight clearly. And I believe in the a fighter's ability to improve. But man, as far as striking goes, I honestly don't think Diego Lopez has anything outside of speed and power. And if he doesn't finish Brian Ortega in the first round, it's going to be a problem for him, right? And I think Brian Ortega is expecting him to come in guns blazing. On to the next one, grappling. Diego Lopez is a good submission artist. He's not a good wrestler, right? And we saw that when he was fighting Movza Evloev, everyone was saying, no, it was short notice. Then what about Joanderson Britu? Because Joanderson Britu was also out wrestling him, right? So it's not like Movza Evloev is the only person who's ever out wrestled Diego Lopez. Diego Lopez is good when it comes to submissions, right? As long as you're a good jiu-jitsu practitioner, you are going to be able to avoid getting submitted by Diego Lopez. I don't see Diego Lopez submitting Brian Ortega, to be honest, because number one, if the fight goes to the ground, I think the person who'll have the top position will probably be Brian Ortega, because I think Diego Lopez is good at BJJ. He's not a good wrestler. He's a horrible wrestler, but he can submit you. But you need wrestling to take someone down, which I don't think Diego Lopez will be able to do. He's not good when it comes to wrestling. He's good at submitting you. He can find ways to submit you from his back, but a lot of those things, a lot of the BJJ moves work outside the top five, man. Inside the top five, you have to be special, and I don't think Diego Lopez is special on the ground. Hamza Chimaev is special on the ground. What do you call him? Who's this guy? I forgot. I forgot. Charles Oliveira is special on the ground. But you can pinpoint Islam Makhachev is special on the ground. Umar Nomagomedov, but his performance, maybe it was because it was his introduction into the top five. But if you look at the people submitting people at the highest level, you're going to struggle to give me 5 or 10 people who can submit top five fighters because it's so difficult to do it, right? Even Hamza Chimaev, despite the fact that I think he's a special fighter, since he got into the top five, he's not been able to submit anyone. But you saw what he did to Kamaru Usman in that first round. He was very close. If he wasn't slammed, he was going to submit Kamaru Usman, right? So there are very few fighters who are able to submit top five contenders unless you can get them tired. And I don't think Diego Lopez has a better gas tank than Brian Ortega. He looked horrible, and granted, it could be because of the weight cuts. That's a high possibility. But let's recap what I just said right now, right? On the feet, Diego Lopez is fast, has power, right? That's just about what he has. He's not a better striker than Brian Ortega, and that might be enough to win him the fight. I mean, that's why the odds are so close, right? On the ground, he can submit you, but I think Brian Ortega is his bread and butter is on the ground. So, like saying you're going to submit Brian Ortega is very disrespectful. I don't think so. Maybe if Brian Ortega was a little bit older, I'd believe it. He's still within prime fighting age. He's like 33 years old, I think. So he's still within prime fighting age. So I wouldn't I wouldn't say that that's out of his prime. So I don't think he's going to get submitted on the ground. If the fight goes to the ground, who's going to be taking the fight to the ground? Do you think Diego Lopez is going to take Brian Ortega down? That's the question that you should be asking yourself. That's not going to happen. The person who's going to be taking the fight to the ground is going to probably be Brian Ortega. He probably might not be able to submit Diego Lopez, but I think Diego Lopez is such a Brazilian Jiu Jitsu practitioner that he will probably be on his bed trying to get submissions, and it won't work for 3 rounds, and he's probably going to lose a decision because of that. Which I like. I think my subscriber said this fight is going to end in a decision. My subscribers are very smart, man. Which is how I think this fight is going to play out. I think they are going to neutralize each other on the ground. But even if the fight stays on the feet, as long as Brian Ortega can avoid getting finished in the first round, I don't think Diego Lopez is going to win this fight. But he's faster, he has more power, so it is what it is. That's why I said it's 100% risky. But yeah, that's my reasons for picking Brian Ortega. Um, Let me move on. Alexa Grasso versus so is an upset possible? I think I made my point clear. I think I made my point clear. It is possible, highly possible. Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko. My subscribers and I went with Alexa Grasso. Alexa Grasso is the favorite at -120. Damn, wow. And Valentina Shevchenko is the underdog at +100. My subscribers say this fight is 78% risky. I said it's 100% risky. The odds just basically reflect what I was saying, or rather, what I'm saying. That's why I said this fight is 100% risky. And I said the same thing on my final predictions. Valentina Shevchenko is the better fighter, but she's old, man. Like, she's old. You can see the decline in the fights from the first one. In the first fight, it was competitive in my opinion, but you could feel that with one mistake, Valentina is going to lose, and it happened. I don't know if anyone could feel it during the fight. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I picked Valentina to win the first fight, right? And I picked Valentina to win the second fight, and I feel like I believe she won, but that I'll get to that. But in the first fight, I picked Valentina, right? Um, but once the fight started, I was like, I was on the edge of my seat because I could feel that Valentina was slowing down and Alexa Grasso was being aggressive. That fight to me looked like kind of which round did Dricus Duplessis submit Israel Adesanya? You saw that the round where Dricus submitted Israel Adesanya. That's how that fight felt. That felt that fight felt like to me, because Israel Adesanya was winning. He was looking better. It was like, oh my God, he's about to finish him. He's about to finish him. He was landing cleaner. He was feeling himself, and then he got submitted. So to me, that fight looked like that for me. That whole fight looked like that final round before Israel Adesanya got submitted to me, right? Because I felt like Valentina was winning, but she was slightly winning and slightly avoiding getting into bad positions, and I could see that she was struggling to stand with Alexa Grasso, right? On the ground, it seems like based on the previous fight, Valentina was the better grappler, but it wasn't by far. It wasn't by far. So I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that Alexa Grasso is a confident pick. She's not. But I'm looking at the first fight. Valentina was winning, but there was such a high risk level in every single fight that I was on the edge of my seat because I could feel that at any moment, with any mistake, she will lose this fight, and it actually happened, right? The second fight was a lot more competitive than the first fight. That's not a good sign, right? That's not a good sign. What should have happened is what happened with Juliana Pena versus Amanda Nunes, right? Juliana Pena submitted Amanda Nunes, and then Amanda Nunes came back. There was still danger with Juliana Pena, but Amanda Nunes just brutalized her. Like it wasn't even fair to watch. Like she brutalized her. There you see, okay, that was a fluke, right? The second fight, even though I believe Valentina Shevchenko won, the second fight was closer. That shouldn't have happened. That shouldn't have happened. Valentina Shevchenko is the better fighter in my opinion. So if ever the first fight you lose via submission, the second fight is close. Even if you won, it shouldn't have been that close, especially with the skill level of Valentina Shevchenko. So I think age is catching up to her, and the first fight was Valentina, but there was danger. Second fight was close. It was a robbery because of the 10-8, but the fight was close. I think the third fight, unfortunately, will be Alexa Grasso probably beating Shevchenko. Even if it won't be dominant, she will be slightly ahead of Shevchenko. This is not me saying this is a safe pick. I'm I'm analyzing this fight live with you guys. Like these are things that I didn't even consider when I was alone. That's why I love doing. That's why I love doing these live videos because it allows me to dig deeper into my thoughts and my knowledge, what I've seen. So I'm actually now realizing what I'm saying. In fact, the fights were declining for Shevchenko. The first fight was decent, but there was trouble, and she got submitted. The second fight was close. If Valentina was better, it should have looked like Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena too. That didn't happen. Probabilities are the third fight, Grasso will be slightly better. She won't be significantly better. She'll be slightly better. It won't even be a close fight. I think it will be a close fight, but there will be a clear winner, right? I don't think there's going to even need a robbery is going to be necessary here. Even though I still feel like this fight is 100% risky, after going through my thoughts like I just did right now, I feel a bit more confident about Alexa Grasso winning this fight. On to the next one, the main event of the evening. So, is an upset possible here? I don't think so, man. Unfortunately, I'm a big fan of Shevchenko, but once you hit 35, that's why I respect what Habib did, right? People were trashing him, but you have to know when your time is over. And I think for Habib, he did that because Islam had to take the title, and eventually Islam has to leave because um, Usman Nomagomedov, who is in Bellator, I don't know if it's Usman. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting his name. The champion at Bellator has to come into the UFC and become the lightweight champion. So I think even Islam is going to retire once Usman is like, I don't know how old Usman is, but I'm assuming when Usman is like 29, Islam has to retire, right? Because I think one of the reasons, obviously, because Habib respects his family and everything like that, but I think one of the other reasons was because Islam had to become a champion, and that couldn't happen if Habib was at the top. So I think that's what's going to happen. I even forgot. Oh, I was saying I even forgot the point that I was trying to make. So what I was saying is that that's why I respect people like Habib and GSP for leaving when they could. And even though I hate what John Jones is doing, I felt like they should just have stripped him and just gave the belt to Tom Aspinall, and there wouldn't be any need to fight Tom Aspinall. Now they are holding the division hostage, and now if John Jones wins and leaves, then it leaves the division in a weird place. I think Tom Aspinall should have been defending the belt while Jones is active. I think the fight would have still been massive, even without the belt. As a co-main event, I think it would have done exceptionally good numbers. But obviously, Jones wants money, so it is what it is. But I respect the fighters who know when to leave. Israel Adesanya seems like a fighter who's not going to know when to leave. He's financially fine. Kamaru Usman, I thought these two would be smart enough to know when to leave. I think the time for them to be champion is past, right? I respect Amanda Nunes is one of them. I don't agree with her trying to come back. Kayla Harrison is going to F her up if she comes back. So I respect Amanda Nunes if she stays retired. Because you have to know that, and unfortunately a lot of fighters do not believe this. They feel like they can turn back time, but no one is undefeated against the father time or mother time. We don't care who you are. Maybe in boxing that might work. Maybe in heavier divisions it might work. But when we talk about welterweight and going downwards, it's a problem. Anyway, Sean O'Malley versus Marab Devalishvili. My subscribers and I went with Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley is the favorite at the minus 120. Marab is the underdog at plus 100. My subscribers say this fight is 70% risky. I said it's 55% safe. Um, I don't think Marab is that good, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm being mean, but I don't think Marab is that good, man. And it's not just being me being mean. I, if you follow my channel, you know I justify my reasons for picking someone. If I don't make my reasons clear on this particular stream, I think I did on my final prediction stream, but I'll try to do that again for this particular fight, right? So my question for me personally, what I looked at is who did Mirab beat? How old were they? Right? It's important to me to actually check those things because it's like with Kobe. Like a lot of people hype Kobe's wins, but forget when he was beating these people. Like Kobe was beating a lot of legends when they were old, but on their record, they look like he was busy dominating talented fighters. They are talented, but if they are old, they are old, right? So I don't feel like Merab was doing what he was doing to prime fighters. Henry Cejudo, like Henry Cejudo is old. Jose Aldo, Jose Aldo's old. Even though he looked good, I mean, he's still old, man. Like, look at the people that Merab has been doing all these things to. Like, it's not like prime fighters. Um, so yeah, man. For me personally, those wins are great. It shows that he belongs in the top five, but it doesn't make him an elite fighter. Generally, when you are a decent grappler, and in Merab's case, he's not a great wrestler. He just does what Colby Covington used to do. He weaponizes his youth, which is going to wear off eventually. But yeah, he weaponizes his youth, and he shoots a lot of takedowns and uses cardio to win fights. Right? He doesn't really win because of technique. Merab is not going to submit you. Merab is not. It's not very dangerous. Like he's going to just win because he's going to put you against the cage. And who, has he been taking people down? I think he has, but like he doesn't look good even on the ground. Like I think people are hyping his wins up a little bit too much, in my opinion. And people are comparing him to Bilal. Bilal was training with Habib, man. Like, let's not even play. And I've been saying this for a very long time. If Aljamain Sterling was training at AKA, Aljamain Sterling would be one of the most unstoppable fighters at bantamweight and at featherweight right now. If Aljamain Sterling was training at AKA, I feel like Sarah Longo, respectfully, is not one of the greatest gyms in my opinion. If Aljamain Sterling, let's not even say AKA. If Aljamain Sterling was training at the American top team, I think Aljamain Sterling would be unstoppable. At any other gym except the Sarah Longo, I think Aljamain Sterling would be unbeatable. Right. So the gym for me is not that great. Um, it's and I made the comparison. I remember I made the comparison in my final predictions, and I was like, Kobe Covington is a worse version of Kamaru Usman, and Usman still lost to Leon Edwards twice. The same applies in this situation. Aljamain Sterling is a better version of Merab Dvalishvili. He has better striking, he has better wrestling, and he still lost, right? And I picked I picked Sean O'Malley in that particular fight, and Sterling did not look great in that particular fight. Even before that fight, he didn't look great, right? So for me, Sterling is Kamaru Usman, Merab is Colby Covington. What's Merab going to do that Sterling couldn't have done, right? So and going back to Merab's wins, he beat Henry Cejudo, who's 36. Jose Aldo, who's also old. Like when you go back to Merab's wins, he's beating these people when they're not at their peak, right? So for me, his streak is impressive. It shows he's good. But on the flip side, when you look at Sean O'Malley is an insanely talented striker. Unlike Leon Edwards, Sean O'Malley finishes fights, right? Marab has, I think, an 80% decision rate, which is crazy. Is it 82 or something like, which is insane. That's why I was saying Marab is not dangerous. Like, it's going to weaponize cardio. That's it. And if you have a weapon like that, I mean, with Habib, he's a skilled grappler. With Hamza Chimaev, he's a skilled grappler. So even if you know what he's going to do, you don't know how it feels. With Merab, it's just cardio. Like there's not much beyond that. He's not going to submit you. He's not going to ground and pound you. He's just going to try to take you down and maybe land a couple of shots that are not going to hurt you properly. Probably. Sean O'Malley has amazing. There are so many talented prospects in Sean O'Malley's camp. Sean O'Malley has the ability to finish a fight. People are trashing his cardio, but he looked insanely good against Chito Vera. I don't think Merab is going to win this fight. I don't think it's even going to be close. I honestly think Sean O'Malley is going to make Merab look like he doesn't belong in there with him. So yeah, I think I gave you more than when I speak. I go to a different place, man, and I love it. I love it so much. Let me reply to your comments now. I think I'm done. Is an upset possible here? No, man. No, Merab is not going to win this fight. Zalhuba will get caught. Yeah, I think so. So if it wasn't clear, my most confident picks would be Esteban Ribovics, it would be Manuel Torres and Sean O'Malley. Not very confident. It's a very risky fight, but out of all of them, I'm pretty confident in Sean O'Malley. So yeah, Zulhuba is bad as bro. I don't know. Possible, who knows? But I doubt. Bombaclad said that. By the way, I need to read out your names so that There's reference. Alex Garcia. He is very good technically and has good reach, but doesn't have the best chin. Was almost put away in his last fight. I don't know who you're referring to. Um, Walter D. I got the Barca Madrid Canelo win over 1.5 knockdowns, Sean O'Malley and some other shit. Walter D, are you mixing boxing with MMA? Wow, what a blend. The boys, Zalhuba is going to KO his guy for sure. I don't know, man. The boys said that, by the way. I think I said that. Bomberclad. I don't know why people are sleeping on the golden boy. Who's the golden boy? Um, incoherent alphabet guy. I don't like this name for you, dude. I'm sorry. Because Esteban is a monster. Look at how he did McKinney. Yeah, yeah. I'm sticking with Esteban Ribovics, man. I got Mirabi W all the way. Drizzy Gold, bad move, man. I don't think Mirabi is winning. Ribovics is gonna put him out if he finds the chin. Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. I got Lopez, Grasso, Dumont. Sure, sure, yeah, Laurent. I got Lopez, Grasso, Dumont, Mirabi. Drizzy, Drizzy. You found all the risky bets and like you were like, I'm going there. That's where I'm going. I see they are risky, but that's where I'm going. Good luck, man. You just picked some of the riskiest fights on the card. Merab is not winning. Um, like I'm saying these things like I'm 100% sure, but I don't. Orichilang versus. Let me see. Orichilang versus Chiwiwis. I like the Lopez for the last fight, but him struggling with Ige is making me change my bet for this one. I don't want to put too much stock into his performance against Danny Ige because it could have been because of the weight cuts. It could have been because of the short notice. We have to also remember that Diego Lopez also came in on short notice. Even though he had a couple of weeks, he was also coming in on short notice. However, he's still horrible at striking. He just compensates for that with speed and power. And Dricus Duplessis is the champion. He's not the most technically good fighter, especially when it comes to striking, but he gets the job done. Maybe Diego Lopez is the same way. I don't know. I don't think so, but we will see. At least with Dricus Duplessis, I was able to predict that he's going to win in his last three fights. When he fought Robert Whittaker, I said he would beat Robert Whittaker. It is on this channel, actually. When he fought Sean Strickland, I said he would beat Sean Strickland. It's on the channel. When he fought Israel Adesanya, I said he would beat Israel Adesanya. It's on the channel. Right? Diego Lopez, I don't see it. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't see the right things. We'll see. Um, UEGEU, this guy with many alphabets. I don't know, man. I'll take a looking fed. I saw his recent photo. The things you say, once my channel is monetized, I need to be careful what I read because some of the things that you guys say in the comments are just wild. Let me see. The Lopes versus Ige fight was on a few hours' notice after a bunch of weight cuts. Weight changing, can't hold his performance in that one against him. Yeah, that's basically what I was saying, though. That Ortega photo is from back in July, actually. Thank you for that. Noah Bumi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name properly, but he's the guy who was saying what I was reading previously. Um, Alex Garcia, I bet on Yair Rodriguez to beat him, and Ortega whooped him all on a 2 to 3 year layoff. So I like Ortega for this one. Good point, man. Um, Alphabet guy. I don't like calling you that. No, the recent photo one, he looked the same. Okay, but sometimes being carved out of stone is not the best thing. Usually, those are the dudes without cardio because people who have a lot of cardio are not toned, right? Look at Merab, he's not toned. Look at who else? I can't think of a lot of people who have a lot of cardio, but whenever someone is toned and shaped, they usually don't have great cardio, right? So yeah, let me see. No, let me go to the other. Alex Garcia Lopez had a training camp and moved up in weight, not down. Ige fought on 1 day notice, so I feel like you can hold it against him. Okay, that's a fair point. Noah Bumi, are you talking about the photo of him in black Noche shorts? You guys were not listening to me. A different conversation is happening here. That doesn't even involve me. Yeah, but there was a new photo. He looked the same. Okay, get the alphabet guy is now replying. I saw the weigh-ins. He looked the same as his last fight. He's never really looked ripped. Yeah, like I said, whenever someone looks ripped, it's not a good sign. Probably means they don't have good cardio. Um, Let me see. Lopes cut the 2:45 morning of weigh-ins, then got the call that Ortega wanted 55. He accepted it. Then the day of, he had to weigh in again at 165. Ige was preparing for a fight the next week. You can't. Okay. Okay, Noah. Noah, no, these points are really solid, and that's why I'm reading them out loud. I think hopefully it can help some of you. I love this debate and argument. Okay, debate. Let me not call it an argument. If anything, I'd bet over 2.5 rounds. Yeah, that's why I said I think it's going to be a decision. Weigh-ins haven't even happened yet. Good point. Um, Alex Garcia, face off. Oh, okay. Face off. He had the clothes on. Can't tell nothing from it. Yeah. Alphabet dude. When are the weigh-ins? I think they're tomorrow. Alex Garcia. What are you talking about? LOL. I'm saying he's never really been ripped. I agree. Don't get me, guys. Noah. But the picture this guy is talking about is particularly worse than other Taker fights. What I'm saying is you can't tell when he has clothes on. Okay. Um, Alex Garcia, I think 12. Noah, not sure what the time zone you are in. Ceremonial weigh-ins are in 10 Eastern time. The actual weigh-ins are probably only an hour or two away. Oh, okay. Walter D. I sold I sold on no distance for O'Malley fight was plus 120 for a hot minute. Now it's evens. I'm sorry. Alex Garcia. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it has much to do with the fight though. He has good cardio. Yeah. Alphabet dude. Dude, after this card, change your name. I don't like calling you this. I'm in UK, so weigh-ins are probably at 5 or something. Wow, something new. I didn't know anything about you, dude. Like, you're from the United Kingdom. Wow, okay. Good to know. At least I know something about you because you're very mysterious. Even your channel has. I don't know if it has anything. If it has been long since I checked it. ISO. Wait, does anyone have a draw on the card other than me? I don't think there's going to be draws here. Like it's UFC Noche. People are going to be trying to kill each other. So I don't know. Alex Garcia, I think. in 2 hours or three. Not completely sure. No, I agree with that. I don't think Ortega's physique has. Um, I agree with that. I don't think Ortega's physique has really had any effect on his previous fights. He looked rough before the zombie fight, but he smoked him. Okay, I got a draw on Ortega versus Bryan. I mean, Diego versus Bryan. Maybe, maybe possible. Alex Garcia. That's what I'm saying. I've usually voted against Bryan, so I hope I don't get the burnt when I actually bet on him. It's a risky fight, though. BA, what's your main card picks? If you're new to the channel, go to the short section. There's so much information. My pick. I'm sorry, I don't know what the internet, what YouTube was doing. So go to the video section. I post my risky or safe predictions there. I also post where if a fight is going to end within the distance or decision. I post the IQ, but a lot of the statistics that are on the video section are voted on by the subscribers in the community section. So if you want to see my predictions, go to the video or shorts section on the channel. Um, so yeah, but you can always also watch the stream once I'm done because there's breakdowns that I can't really break down anything on the shorts or video section. I actually prefer to do these videos live. I don't think I'll ever get to a point whereby I do predictions or breakdowns on standard video like most people. I prefer to break down videos of fights like this so that I can communicate with you guys. Um, Noah, MMA Junkie is going live for the real weigh-ins in an hour, by the way. Okay, Alphabet guy. I think the France card is slightly easier to predict, but still difficult. Yeah, there are some easier fights there, but so far, personally, I haven't seen any safe fight, in my opinion. Alex Garcia, Ribovics Ortega versus Lopez over 2.5 rounds. Grasso and possibly Shan versus Merab over 2.5 rounds. Okay. Um, wow. I didn't realize I had this option. Yeah. By the way, the light on the phone. This is a really nice feature. This is the first time. I've been using this phone for over a year. I didn't know there's a torch on the front end of the video. So I've been looking dark all this time when it's getting dark, and I've had a light on my phone. Like it's turned on. Let me show you. You see now I'm dark. Now it's turned on. And I turned it on by mistake. Good to know. On to the next one. Um, I think I responded to this one. Alphabet Dude over 2.5 for Sean versus Mirab may be a bad bet because Mirab usually gets clipped early. Good point. Or Miley KO round two. Yeah, I could see that. I feel like early KO or Miley or Mirab decision can't decide. I think O'Malley is the better fighter, but Mirab has cardio. But everyone gets tired, and I don't think if O'Malley gets tired, Mirab will also be tired. Um, let me see. Alex Garcia, who you got for the co-main? Okay, Noah. I could see a world where O'Malley wins a tough decision. Mirab manages to survive whenever he gets clipped. Obviously, it hasn't been against guys like Sean, but still, good point. Alphabet Dude, to be honest, it's possible it goes late because Mirab stalls a lot. Dana won't let his little sugar boy get held up against the cage, though. There may be a biased judges and referees. Yeah, I agree with that. No, I could see Sean winning Biggest moments of each round. Alex Garcia, Chaira since Van is late notice of AKO Torres and Irene, but Dumont over 2.5 rounds. Possible. Um, Alphabet dude, exactly what does Mirab do other than hold on for dear life? That's what I was saying. I was like, dude, like he doesn't do anything. Alex Garcia always bet over 2.5 for the ladies. Smart move, man. Noah, unfortunately, he beat Aldo by holding on for dear life. Yeah, but Aldo was old. Like Sean O'Malley's not going to let that happen. Um, Alex Garcia, I feel like Aldo was trying to rush the takedowns and it backfired. Yeah, Alphabet guy also agrees. Noah, I just worry because Sean definitely doesn't have the takedown defense of Aldo, but his movement is on another level. You know what? You make a good point. Sean O'Malley does not have the takedown defense of Aldo. His takedown defense is not that great, but I think Sean O'Malley is also a really talented grappler. Um, but apart from that, I feel like he can compensate for his takedown defense deficiency by knocking him out or creating danger. But my main concern is him, Sean O'Malley on his back, but with the kind of training partners he has, I'm not too concerned though. It's such a fun matchup. Yeah, unless Mirab is winning, then it's not going to be a fun matchup. Of which I don't see happening, but you know, Alex Garcia, I've got bets for both, to be honest, for Sean and Mirab. Alex Garcia, okay. Alex Garcia, a lot of them are coin tosses. Yeah, I agree. Noah, that's reasonable. You got Sean by KO, Mirab by decision, or just money lines. Alphabet guy, O'Malley has a huge range advantage. That's why I'm picking him. He should be able to use his stab in front kicks and maybe time shot as Mirab comes in. Yeah, that's one of the things I said on my final predictions. Alex Garcia, put them in different parlay straight money lines. I don't know what that means, but sounds like a good idea. Alex Garcia, he definitely does, but for him to work his game plan, he needs to keep it standing, Alex Garcia, and keep his distance. Alex Garcia again for 5 rounds. Noah, which is a tall task against such a workhorse in Merab. Alphabet Dude, he's elite at doing that though. He has great footwork too. Merab likes stationary opponents. Yep. Noah, the things those stationary guys had going for them was their wrestling base. It's O'Malley's first time against a wrestler of this level who will actually wrestle, and Mirab hasn't faced a mobile guy. That's a fair point. That's a good, solid point. It's a very interesting matchup, but I think O'Malley's definitely going to win this fight. Um, Henry, Gutierrez, Sadiq Youssef, yeah. Um, Alex Garcia, true. O'Malley's good at changing angles too. K Nega, Diego power is not much, bro. Just speed and so weird amateur combo. Yeah, I agree. Alex Garcia, I see Diego throwing wild in the first round, as he usually does, and Ortega finding a choke in scrambles. Who kid? Oh, someone was at the game. Um, Alex Garcia, I see Diego throwing mild in the first round, and as he usually does, and Ortega finding a choke in a scramble. Aaron, have you been watching the Dana White's Contender series? Yeah, I never miss an episode, even though I'm behind. Actually, I'm not. I'm actually watching the recent one. Um, Henry Gutierrez, Diego Lopes will get the upset, but I don't see Diego beating Ilya anytime soon. What I was saying, I don't see that happening. Alex Garcia, Diego Lopez is the favorite, so good possibility you'll win more money with a love underdog like Ortega, though. True. K Nega, I have Ortega, Ortega, Brian, and Ribovics Esteban in my parlay. Okay, they are risky. Ortega is risky, I think. Henry Gutierrez. It was the fourth round that Izzy got choked. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was. Izzy is the worst champion in the history of the UFC. Come on, Leary. Come on, man. I think Izzy is the second gold in the middleweight division, in my opinion. Um, let me see. Leary casual. I okay. Let me see. Busisi Wendaba. Wow. Welcome, Busisiwe. I like this name. It shows me my fellow South African sister, I think, because Busisiwes are usually female. In today's time, you never know. It's probably a dude. But yeah, welcome, Busisiwe. Let me read what she said. I think it's a she. I respect you, bud. Okay, probably not. I respect you, bud, and I appreciate the effort you put in. But I'm on the other side of Bahamondes and Ribovic's predictions. Good luck to us both, brother. Busisi, well, thank you. I don't know if you're a dude, you're a guy or not, but it's always nice to see South Africans. But I also like the diversity of the channel to know that there are people watching from the United Kingdom, from Canada, from obviously the USA, because those are my biggest supporters. It's getting dark, guys. I need to start doing these lives a bit earlier on. Later, no man. Let me see what your guys pick. Uh, I think I just went through it right now. O'Malley would destroy me, Rob. Thoughts? I agree. Gramps, I agree. This is when Dava, Torres, Aldana decision, and Zalhuba, Raul Rosas Jr., Urigui, Valentina. Whew. Zalhuba and Valentina, I don't know, man. Or sis, I don't know. But Sisi, well, you seem new here, but man, it seems like you know a lot about MMA. Welcome to the channel, by the way. Is this the final comment? I didn't think I would actually finish. Um, good bets. I want Valentina, but feel like it's past the prime. Hey guys, I never thought I didn't think I would finish those comments. Yeah. Um, one of the things that I'm going to miss about having a growing and a small channel is the fact that I might not be able to respond to every single person as I become bigger and get hundreds of thousands, but I'll make sure that I carve out time to talk to you guys. Um, because the things that I say on these streams, like I did today, and I think I gave out so much of a different view on a lot of the fights that most people probably wouldn't have gotten, even for myself. Talking to you guys or doing these live show bargain predictions and everything opens up my mind in a different way, and I'm able to break down fights differently. So I hope I find a way to actually continue to respond to all of you guys. Um, when I say I love and appreciate all of you, it's not just me just saying that. I honestly do. Um, Let me just say it as I'm about to leave. I love and appreciate all of you. Deuces. See you in the comment section. If you're new to the channel, go through the entire channel. Ask the people in the comment section. They'll tell you. But go to the community section, video section, short section, even the live section. There's so much on the channel. Hope to see you Monday when I take my L's or my W's. Hopefully, I get 100%. I work hard on these predictions. I love and appreciate all of you, and I mean it. Bye.